Hello fellow book lovers, I'm here today because I wanted to show you some books that I have on my TBR cart, and I wanted to read you the synopsis for each book. If you do not like hearing the synopses of books, then you probably wouldn't like this video. So let's get started. Here is my TBR cart, and I got that from the book of the month. I thought it was really cute to put it on the TBR. I got this cart. I actually really, really like it. I got it from a place called At Home, and it was like $25 or under. I can't remember if it was 15 or 25, but it's actually really sturdy and good quality, and it holds a lot of books. Okay, so I just want to talk about the top shelf today. I'm just going to read the back of them and maybe see you, that way you can see if you're interested. Let's get started. Book number 1 is Jenny Lee's Anna K, and I'm actually partway through this. Meet Anna K. At 17, she is the top of Manhattan and Greenwich society, even if she prefers the company of her horses and dogs. She has the perfect, if perfectly boring, boyfriend, and she has always made her Korean-American father proud, even if he can be a bit controlling. As her friends struggle with the pitfalls of teenage life, Anna always seems to sail gracefully above it all. That is, until the night she meets Alexia Count Vronsky. A notorious playboy, Alexia is everything Anna is not. But he has never been in love until he meets Anna. Maybe she hasn't either. As Alexia and Anna are pulled irresistibly together, she has to decide how much of her life she's willing to let go to be with him. And when a shocking revelation threatens to shatter their relationship, she's forced to ask if she has ever known herself at all. Dazzlingly opulent and emotionally riveting, Anna K is a brilliant reimagining of Leo Tolstoy's timeless love story, Anna Karenina. Forgive me for that. But above all, it is a novel about the dizzying, glorious, heart-stopping experience of first love and first heartbreak. If you are a fan of the Gossip Girl type series, I think you would really like this. It is an easy read. The story moves pretty fast. The only thing is there's a lot of characters. So it's funny that in the book there's a list of all the people. Okay, another one I'm super excited to read. Jen Mckinley's Better Late Than Never, a library lover's mystery. So this one is When the Briar Creek Library holds its first overdue book amnesty day, no fines for late returns. The volume of incoming materials is more than Lindsay and her staff can handle. But one tardy tome? Never heard that word. One tardy tome catches her attention. A copy of J.D. Salinger's The Catcher in the Rye, 20 years past due. When Lindsay looks up the borrower, she's shocked to discover it was a murder teacher named Candace Whitley, whose killer was never found. Candace checked out the novel on the day she died. Now Lindsay wonders if it could provide a clue to the decades-old cold case. No one noticed who brought the book back in, but could it be Candace's killer? Lindsay is determined to catch the culprit one way or another, because justice for Candace Whitley is long overdue. This one just sounds super cute. I love these kind of books. So this is like a cozy mystery type. I haven't read anything by this author, but I have 4 of her books. And there's another one that I want to buy. They just sound so good. And it could be because I used to work in a library. So library settings are some of my favorite books. Libraries and bookstores. I just love them. Next on my list is Recursion by Blake Crouch. I really liked his previous book called Dark Matter. I read it for a book club when I worked in the library with a group of friends, and I love Dark Matter. It was really good. If you like a thriller with time travel, read Dark Matter. So I heard that this one was also good, and I've actually read the first chapter, but it was just, I wasn't super into it. I guess I just wasn't in the mood, but I want to try it again. Memory makes reality. That's what New York City cop Barry Sutton is learning as he investigates the devastating phenomenon the media has dubbed false memory syndrome, a mysterious affliction that drives its victims mad with memories of a life they never lived. That's what neuroscientist Helena Smith believes. It's why she dedicated her life to creating a technology that will let us preserve our most precious memories. If she succeeds, anyone will be able to re-experience a first kiss, the birth of a child, the final moment with a dying parent. As Barry searches for the truth, he comes face to face with an opponent more terrifying than any disease, a force that attacks not just our minds, but the very fabric of the past. And as its effects begin to unmake the world as we know it, only he and Helena working together, will stand a chance at defeating it. But how can they make a stand when reality itself is shifting and crumbling all around them? At once a relentless page-turner and an intricate science fiction puzzle box about time, identity, and memory, Recursion is a thriller, as only Blake Crouch could imagine it, and his most ambitious, mind-boggling, irresistible work to date. Someone just sounds it sounds very intriguing. People's memories are getting messed with. I feel like I would be crazy if I was in their shoes. Okay, I talked about this one in a recent video, Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. Maggie Holt doesn't believe in these things, even though they're the details of the story that made her family famous. 25 years ago, she and her parents, Ewan, I do not know how to say that name, and Jess moved into Bainbury Hall, a rambling Victorian estate in the Vermont woods. They spent 20 days there before fleeing in the dead of the night, an ordeal he later recounted in a horror memoir, House of Horrors. His tale of ghostly happenings and encounters with malevolent spirits became a worldwide phenomenon, rivaling the Amityville horror in popularity and skepticism. Annie has lived her life in the shadows of her father's book, so when she inherits Bainbury Hall after his death, she returns to renovate the house to prepare it for sale. However, her homecoming is anything but warm. People from the past, chronicled in House of Horrors, lurk in the shadows, and locals aren't thrilled that their small town has been made infamous thanks to Maggie's father. Even more unnerving is Bainbury Hall itself, a place filled with relics from another era that hint at a history of dark deeds, as Maggie experiences strange occurrences straight out of Ewan's book. She starts to wonder if what he wrote was more fact than fiction. Alternating between Maggie's uneasy homecoming and chapters from her father's book, Home Before Dark is the story of a house with long-buried secrets and a woman's quest to uncover them, even if the truth is far more terrifying than any haunting. And here, bells that ring themselves, record players that turn on and play music to empty rooms, ghosts that climb out of wardrobes. It sounds creepy, and I like creepy books. So, I hope this is good. Okay, and here we have Sherry Lapina, the end of her. I've read a couple of books by this author, and I've liked them both, so I'm excited for this one. This is a gift to me. A long ago accident and a visitor from out of the blue. Stephanie and Patrick are adjusting to life with their colicky twin girls. The babies are a handful, but even as Stephanie struggles with the disorientation of sleep deprivation, there's one thing she's sure of. She has all she ever wanted. Then Erica, a woman from Patrick's past, appears and makes a disturbing accusation. Patrick had always said his first wife's death was an accident, but now Erica claims it was murder. Patrick insists he's innocent, that this is nothing but a blackmail attempt. Still, Erica knows things about Patrick, things that make Stephanie begin to question her husband. Stephanie isn't sure what or who to believe. As Stephanie's trust in her husband begins to falter, Patrick stands to lose everything. Is Patrick telling the truth? Is Erica the persuasive liar Patrick says she is? Or has Stephanie made a terrible mistake? How will it end? Another one, this was another gift. Jessica Jung's Shine. This is a debut novel. Jessica Jung is from the very famous K-pop girl group Girls' Generation. And so I was very interested to see what her book would be like. I'm sure I'll like it. I think it's about K-pop, so. What would you give for a chance to live your dreams? For 17-year-old Korean-American Rachel Kim, the answer is almost everything. 6 years ago, she was recruited by DB Entertainment, one of Seoul's largest K-pop labels, known for churning out some of the world's most popular stars. The rules are simple. Train 24/7, be perfect, don't date. Easy, right? Not so much. As dark scandals of an industry bent on controlling and commodifying beautiful girls begin to bubble up, Rachel wonders if she's strong enough to be a winner or if she'll end up crushed, especially when she begins to develop feelings for K-pop star and DB Golden Boy Jason Lee. It's not that he's charming, sexy, and ridiculously talented. He's also the first person who really understands how badly she wants her star to rise. Get ready as Jessica Jung, K-pop legend and former lead singer of Korea's most famous girl group, Girls' Generation, takes us inside the luxe, hyper-color world of K-pop, where the stakes are high, but for one girl, the cost of success and love might be even higher. It's time for the world to see this is what it takes to shine. This was like a pretty, I thought it was a really pretty cover. They also had one that was like written in gold, but I just thought the pink was pretty. And that is Jessica. Okay, we have some more. I was really excited for this one. I'm really excited to read it still. Matt Haig's The Midnight Library. I heard that this might be sad. So, we'll see. A dazzling novel about all the choices that go into a life well lived. Between life and death, there is a library. Up until now, Nora Seed's life has been full of misery and regret. She feels she has let everyone down, including herself. But things are about to change. When she finds herself in the Midnight Library, she has a chance to make things right. The books in the Midnight Library enable Nora to live as if she had done things differently. Each one contains a different life, a possible world in which she made different choices that played out in an infinite number of ways, affecting everyone she knew as well as many people she never met. With the help of an old friend, she can now undo every decision she regrets as she tries to work out her perfect life. But things aren't always what she imagined they'd be, and soon her choices place the library and herself in extreme danger. Before time runs out, she must answer the ultimate question: what is the best way to live? So the concept of this just really intrigued me. Okay, so I picked up Nancy Drew, The Curse. It's a prequel to the CW show Nancy Drew. And I'm actually about halfway through this, but haven't read it in months. I just kind of stopped halfway through. But I still want to finish it. I don't know the writing. I'm not super into it, but I love Nancy Drew, so I want to finish it. Nancy Drew isn't one for ghost stories. So when the annual Horseshoe Bay Naming Day celebration is threatened by warnings of an old curse, Nancy is sure someone human is behind them. And no way is she letting this person stand in the way of her best friend Daisy finally getting her day in the spotlight as the lead in the much anticipated Naming Day reenactment. But as Nancy begins investigating, the so-called marks of the curse become bolder and more sinister. A vandalized locker and ominous notes are one thing, but soon enough lives, including Nancy's own, are at stake. Though the dreams and eerie visions plaguing Nancy are certainly just products of her own mind, right? All old towns have their traditions and histories, but as Nancy will soon discover, they don't always tell the whole story. So I'll continue reading this. But yeah. Okay, I recently got this one, Pride and Premeditation. This is by Teresa Price. a Jane Austen murder mystery. Okay. When a scandalous murder shocks London high society, 16-year-old law enthusiast Lizzie Bennet sees the perfect opportunity to prove herself as a formidable litigator, despite the fact that women are only allowed in court as witnesses. Unfortunately for Lizzie, the man accused of the crime already has a fledgling lawyer, Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy, the stern young heir training to take over the prestigious firm Pemberley and Associates. Convinced the authorities have blamed the wrong person, Lizzie vows to steal Darcy's client and solve the murder so that she can earn a position of her own. But as the case and her feelings for Darcy become more complicated, Lizzie discovers that her dream job could make her happy, but it might also get her killed. Irresistibly romantic and clever, Pride and Premeditation is Teresa Price's first novel. So this one, it just sounds really, really good. I like Pride and Prejudice, the original novel. It's been a couple years since I read that, so I think I like this. The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. I really like Agatha Christie, so I think I'll like this book. Evelyn Hardcastle will die every day until Aidan Bishop can identify her killer and break the cycle. But every time the day begins, Aidan wakes up in the body of a different guest, and some of his hosts are more helpful than others. This just sounds really good. I'm curious to know if anybody else has read it and if they liked it. Mr. Penumbras 24-Hour Bookstore by Robin Sloan. As you can tell, the library and bookstore things. And the sticker's covering it, and I don't feel like taking it off. The Great Recession has shuffled Clay Jannon away from life as a San Francisco web design drone and into the aisles of Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore. But after a few days on the job, Clay discovers that the store is more curious than either its name or its gnomic owner might suggest. The customers are few, and they never seem to buy anything. Instead, they check out large, obscure volumes from strange corners of the store. Suspicious, Clay engineers an analysis of the clientele's behavior, seeking help from his variously talented friends. But when they bring their findings to Mr. Penumbra, they discover the bookstore's secret extended far beyond its walls. Rendered with irresistible brio and dazzling intelligence, Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore is exactly what it sounds like, an establishment you have to enter and will never want to leave. Okay, next is the Dash and Lily series. So it started as, I first saw this on Netflix and I loved it. And I know some people don't like the covers like this, but I do, because I love movies. And so when I get I don't know, when the book cover will remind me of a movie, I don't mind. Unless I hated the movie, then that's a different story. Okay, 16-year-old Lily left a red notebook full of challenges on her favorite bookstore shelf, waiting for just the right guy to come along and accept its dares. Dash, in a bad mood during the holidays, happens to be the first guy to find the notebook and rise to its challenges. What follows is a whirlwind romance as the two trade dares, dreams, and desires in the notebook. They pass back and forth at locations across New York City. But can their in-person selves possibly connect as well as their notebook versions, or will their scavenger hunt end in a comic mismatch of disastrous proportions? And this one is by the same author, but it's different. It's a completely different story and characters. Okay, one night, one apartment, 8 people. What could possibly go wrong? Twins Sam and Ilsa have a tradition of throwing awesome, ridiculous dinner parties for their friends at their grandmother's posh apartment, and now they prepare their final blowout just before graduation. The rules are simple. Each twin gets to invite 3 guests, and the other twin doesn't know who's coming until the partiers show up at the door. With Sam and Ilsa, the sibling rivalry often triumphs sibling revelry. And tonight's guest list has it all: bitter exes, mysterious strangers, and a best frenemy from upstairs. So it sounds cute, and they're actually really short books, so I don't want to spoil anything while I look. Okay, I don't even see page numbers. Oh, okay, there we go. There is 209 pages, so easy. Okay, I have 2 books left. One is The Upside of Falling by Alex Light. Got this one at Barnes & Noble. And this one is It's Been Years Since 17-year-old Becca Hart Believed in True Love. But when her former best friend teases her for not having had a boyfriend, Becca impulsively pretends she's been secretly seeing someone. Brett Wells has it all. As captain of the football team and one of the most popular guys in his school, he should have no problem finding someone to date, but he's always been more focused on his future than who to bring to prom. When he overhears Becca's lie, Brett decides to step in and be the mystery guy. It's the perfect solution. He gets people off his back for not having a meaningful relationship. She can keep up the ruse that she's got a boyfriend. Acting like the perfect couple isn't easy, though, especially when you barely know the other person. But when Becca, still picking up the pieces from when her world was blown apart years ago, and Brett just barely holding his together now, they begin to realize that they have more in common than they ever could have imagined. When the line between what is pretend and what is real begins to blur, they are forced to answer the question, is this fake romance the realest thing in either of their lives? So it sounded cute. I always like those tropes, like fake dating turns into real dating. It's in a lot of K-dramas, and that's always one I like. Okay, and this I got for my birthday, like last year. I love escape rooms, and so this is called Perfect Escape by Suzanne Park. One guy, one girl, one weekend-long survivalist competition. What could go wrong? Nate Jae-woo Kim wants to be rich. When one of his classmates offers Nate a ridiculous amount of money to commit grade fraud, he knows that taking the windfall would help support his prideful Korean family, but is compromising his integrity worth it? Kate Anderson wants a fresh start, away from her controlling father. She fantasizes about escaping to New York, where she can pursue her dreams, but how can Kate get there when she can't even buy dinner without his approval? Worlds collide when Nate and Kate meet at the zombie-themed escape room, where they both work. As sparks fly, fate steps in. A local tech company is hosting a weekend-long survivalist competition with a huge cash prize that could solve all their problems. The real challenge, making it through the weekend with their hearts intact. So, it sounds cute. And, okay, that's it. That is the first shelf. And I'll get to the other ones later when I can. It's too much talking. Okay. Okay, I hope that some of those books sounded interesting to you. And if so, let me know if you're going to pick up any of them to read, or if you read any of them and what you think of them. Let me know down in the comments. And thank you for watching. Have fun reading. Bye.